morning, welcome back to the channel. So yesterday was a great day. It ended up being sunny, low wind, got a lot of spraying done. Today it's overcast, the wind is picking up, so I didn't do any spraying. I might could have gone earlier this morning, but the forecast showed high winds kind of starting way early. Ended up being it was a little light. I don't know if I could have gotten the rest of that tank sprayed out before it picked up, but anyway, so I'm here. I was going to change all these points on these shanks, but as I go to look around at them, I think I got a little more life on them. Like this, if it gets to this point, then it's for sure done, but it's still sticking a little bit lower there. These behind the tractor are a little bit worn more than these here. There's a little more life on those, but where I'm going is going to be probably really is going to be real hard. I really don't know how it's going to do, so I don't know if I just go ahead and get that 100 acres plowed and then reassess and maybe get them changed, probably get them changed after that is what I'm thinking. The one thing I have noticed though is if you notice these stripes here, these welding beads, this is some hard surfacing rod that we put on 2 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, but it's starting to wear down. But if you look back behind the shank, you see how much thinner, like there's full thickness, and then where that dirt comes around, it really is starting to pinch and wear out. And so don't want it to get in this tube for sure, but also, so probably next year need to get those built back up to try to protect. Now there's still a defined bead here from where Dad welded these, but even the hard surface rod is still wearing down. It's interesting that it's right here. You know, that's where the most wear is in this shin, is right here, and so that dirt just kind of it blows it up and then it flows around, so it gets the most kind of wear right there. So that's going to be done next year, but I'm thinking maybe let's roll on. I will need this and probably a tube of grease, which I'm getting low on, so I need to get some more of that. Oh man, greasing. You can't help but get it on literally everything. All right, you've seen me grease before. It's kind of hard to show you all the spots, but all the baskets got to get done. I'll go ahead and do the hinges with the other grease, the hitch, the front end, basically everything. There is one thing I forgot to show you that I'm going to change before I go. My hands are full. Not this one. This disc is turning really hard, so I'm afraid it's going to lock down soon, so go ahead and get it replaced. These discs are threaded differently on either side, so since this normally turns like this, that would could loosen this bolt here. So this is left-hand threads, so I'm actually going to have my impact on tighten. That should break it loose. Just like that. Now the question is, how easy to... Sometimes these don't come off very easy. This one's going to. Good deal. That's never sees. That's why we put that on there, so that it never seizes. This one, there's two bearings in here. The one that's up like this is the one where they normally go out because it's water can get in right here because of the way it's pitched. The backside bearings normally aren't bad. So this back one spins free. Problem though is to get the this bearing out, you push it down from that side. So this one's got to come out. So most of the time, you just replace them both. This is the one that's hard. So. I take a little bit of this metal sandpaper called Emery cloth, no relation. All right, now goop it back up with some more of the good stuff. Lefty tighty, right? Much better. This gives you a decent representation of how deep we're plowing. So the distance from there to there. So I don't know, what's that? 8 inches, 10 inches, something like that. So, all right, I grease this pitch and stuff. All right, let's see what we're doing here. At least 8 inches there. But I bet this band compresses the soil maybe an inch, so we might be getting 9 inches. Pretty good. Never done that before. I've always kind of wondered how deep, because it's kind of hard to measure when it plows up out of the ground, and then, but also these units are rising up a little bit at the back, so we might be getting, I bet we're getting close to 10 inches by the time the depth band presses the soil down a little bit and this flattens out. So let's say we're ripping down 10 inches. I'd say that's pretty good. Just put a little diesel in here, and so I've got to do the same calibration I did on the 8130, because you remember how it was going to rain, and I ran to go get that last strip tilling done and late, and it didn't rain. Remember that event? It's hard to remember which one, but it was the most recent one. So they were talking about severe weather chances. I didn't want to mess with it, so I just took the globe off, you know, make sure that didn't get damaged. Anytime you take that off, you've got to do this recalibration. So it's not that big a deal, just got to do it. So I'm going to calibrate it and then drive to the field. 100 acres take me about 5 hours or so. Look, Ma, I made it. And I can't tell what rows I'm supposed to be in. Cotton stalks right here. I think right there and there. I think this is my skip. Cotton stalks right here. Should be some. Right there. That seems kind of far, kind of wide. There's for sure stalks right here. Interesting. I know I'm too close. I just can't decide if I got to go 4 feet or 8 feet over. Because here's my drill row. That's for sure too close. I think 4 feet's all I need to do, but I wish I could see better these stalks here and here. I think I'm seeing stalks there, seeing stalks there. So that would mean this is a skip. And there's stalks right here. Stalks right there. So there's a row. Yeah, so that's last year. I need to be over 4 feet. So I should see probably stalks. Yeah, right here on that side of the tire. And on this side of the tire. So I think 4 feet over is what I need to do. I got that 4 foot. Zoom. Let the tractor back me up in the right rows. Just keep back it up. All right, I don't really know what's going to happen here in terms of how well it's going to go on the ground, but we're going to give it a shot. So far so good. I mean, it's a little cloddy. It's pulling harder than it was everywhere else, but not super surprising because this ground just gets really hard. So also the first round, remember, it's always, we do some driving here and different things, so it's going to be hardest here than we move over. So far so good. Let's go take a look. Definitely hard, but I don't know what's best. It's going to the ground decent. Running pretty level. Tried fairly level. It looks a little low on that end. Maybe the hitch needs to go down a hair. I don't know, but I don't know. It needs to be busted up. It's just dry. So we'll keep going, see how it looks. I'm likely gonna get some maybe get some clods in here to lock these discs down, because that's just what happens. But riding good like that. That one's tight, but that seems to alternate. Sometimes this one's tight. They're both pretty tight. I don't want them flopping, I don't want them too tight, but if I loosen them, they flop. So I think this is gonna have to be all right. It's going pretty well, but it's pulling hard. I don't know if you call that moisture or not. But I am glad I did not. Yeah, there's some down there. Maybe at the very, very bottom, but I'm glad I didn't change these tips before I don't need any extra load on what I'm doing. So just want to get out here and make sure everything was still looks okay since it is pulling a load. That's good. Good. I'm glad to see that. I'm getting now. If this is the bottom here and I'm 10 inches deep, it's what, 7 inches till I get into any moisture. So, but I just want to make sure nothing had broken back here. Everything looked all right. We just need a rain. So I wanted to get this done. This plow is actually really easy, right? But you got to get on it basically when it's wet. Like everything else is still black, and you would make a huge mess, and it would slab out, and we'd almost get stuck. But over here, it's perfect, and then it's not, and then it's hard as a rock. Same with planting. So always try to get over here as soon as we can after it rain. I hope to get a couple rains on this. Sorry about that, man. I hope to get a couple rains on this, and it'll settle all that down and kind of dissolve those clods. And then we come back with a second pass and bust it up, break up any voids, and refirm from the beds. I hope you can hear all that, but anyways, just get out here looking. That's the moisture we got. It's not much, but there is some. Seeing how much volunteer wheat's out here, there's a lot, especially compared to the other places that got hailed out. This has a ton, and so this was pretty good wheat. I was most sick about this field. Obviously, I thought we were going to make pretty good on all of it and have a chance to, one, make a big crop, but two, like add a good yield to my average for my insurance coverage. So I was excited, especially here when I haven't had a wheat crop out here since I've been farming this. 22, I didn't have any wheat anywhere. 23, it was terrible. It got taken out because of drought, and then 24, it got hailed out. So, and then 25, it's not looking very good over there either. It's just a stinker. But this was awesome. I had fertilized. We had a little bit of rust issue, so I put some fungicide out to help with the rust. But look how thick it is. And it's not like that at the other farm, so no use crying over spilled milk. Is that what I should say here? But what could have been. I was afraid I was going to get this. It's been so windy and there's been dust following me here, but when I plowed over there by the barn, worse dust than this. So I've got to, it's not a big deal, it's just dirty, so gotta turn the engine off and go pop the hood, get the engine filter out, get a little dirty. It's right here. That inner filter should be clean if the outer filter is doing its job, and I believe it is. I'll just pull some of this out. Okay, let's go out here and dirt. Well, that's a lot better than it was. I'll have once I get some air, some compressed air, and blow it out kind of gently. But that ought to get me going again. Make sure you put your logos facing up so you can read them. Everybody knows that's a John Deere filter. I'm joking, but actually, who cares? All that logo means is I spent a lot of money on it. All right, now my engine can breathe, especially since it's having to work so hard in this hard dirt. Good to have some airflow. That should be that. Shouldn't have any issues. Down here on this south end of the field, there's no wheat. We just got this purple henbit, which a pretty purple flowers. I can transplant it for you, but there is no wheat at all. I mean, this wheat was just totally destroyed by the hail. I mean, there was nothing left at all. Down there, it's actually was really good. I was excited. I mean, all looks good, but this got hammered. That over there didn't get as bad a hail, and there were some heads. That's why there's so much volunteer down there. But this, I mean, you just see, like, only green you see, like, there's one wheat plant right there, but the rest of the green is all wheat henbit. This was just like, I mean, this not a zero, I don't know what a zero is, but there was nothing out here. I'm getting close to being done. It's pulling a lot easier as I'm going west here, which I'm thankful for. So I probably got, like 7 more throughs to be done. Would you look at this? Last through, I'm gonna end up exactly where I need to be to get out of here. Sometimes things work out. Pretty sure last time I strip-tilled this, did not. I guess that was been 4 feet difference because I shift over 4 feet. But this is working out perfectly. So last through, right up next to the berm. Finish down there. That's exactly where I need to leave. Back to the barn. On to the next thing. Turn my hazards on. Four-wheel drive off. I think that's it. 98.91 acres. Alright. I think my cylinders are equal distance up. Downshift just a hair while I leave this. Kind of tight approach. It's not bad. The road guy in this county does an awesome job. They take care of these county roads really good, but they do a great job with their ditches too. But they leave us that entrance there because we can't get wide equipment down that tree line to get to the other entrance. So thanks. Glad to get that done. Alright, so here's a new point to put on there. Try to show you the wear. So obviously it's rounded those corners off, not super surprising. But I'm trying to decide, it's not wearing as fast as I thought, really. Kind of would replace when these points get worn back further to this flat here. So if you look there, how much it's worn, it's not a ton, and they're not all equal. The wings for sure have more life in them. I'll show you a wing. Not super surprising because the wings are we're gonna pack the ground just a hair. But let me try to line this up. So there's not a ton of, obviously it's rounded, but we haven't lost just a lot of distance here. I've still got quite a bit of points sticking down past this flat. So I keep telling you I'm going to change these points, and I can't decide. I've convinced myself a couple different ways. I think the wings are good for sure. What I'm seeing. You know, like, but look at this one here. There's not much left on that. And there still is some, but the one next to it has more. So, just change them one at a time or change them all? I don't know yet. Well, call me wishy-washy, but I'm gonna wait. I talked to Dad. I said, "What do you think? I mean, should I change them as I see them individually? Change them all at once?" And he would normally change them all at once. He said. The problem is when I was strip tilling a couple years ago, when I hit that pipeline. If you've never seen it, there's a video. I hit a pipeline, and I broke those tips. I got them kind of off schedule, where they're not all have the exact same wear. But those suckers are expensive, and so. I should get out all the life I can. It's still going in the ground really good. I still have looks like some wear to that point, and so I'm just going to keep running it like that. If it doesn't rain, it's not going to matter if I get an extra half inch or an inch strip tilling or not, but it's still doing a good job. I thought surely it would wear a lot from what I just did, but it's good. It's what you'd hope for that high dollar material to wear really good, and it seems to be doing a good job. So I'm going to leave it alone for now, and I'll just have to. The reason I kept wanting to try to do them here is because normally we try to. There's a roll pin. Let me try to find one that has no dirt on it. I'll explain why I'm wishy-washy. So there's a roll pin right here, and it's really hard to drive out. I mean, we put anti-seize on it always, but it's a pain. You can normally not get them to move without really mushrooming the pin. So we normally just take a grinder and just cut this corner off right here and grind it flat. That way all we have to do is just drive it out that far. So with that, I need an extension cord. I need a big grinder to do that. And it's nice to have my rolling cart to be able to sit down to do all that. But if I have to, I can bring an extension cord and a grinder and just sit on the ground and get them knocked out. So this is the worst one. There's still, see, there's still some points there. But I do have this punch that had, it's a roll pin punch. See that kind of nub at the end? It fits inside of this 3/8. It's a 3/8 roll pin, and this is a 3/8 punch. So it's supposed, in theory, it's fit inside of that, keep it from walking around like a normal punch. And it works, but still, you gotta have it. You gotta hit it. You can just barely, almost never get that pin to drive out. But I'm gonna try when I have to do them. Well, so that saves me some work for now. Delayed work, but while I'm here, I had Dad pick me up this filter. I just was filling up with diesel this morning and realized, I don't know when the last time we changed this filter was on this diesel trailer. It was written on here, but I don't see it anymore. Must have come off. So we're gonna put a new one on. And I don't really know how much is gonna come out of here. Enough. Any of my black Sharpies, it's the, what is it, March 25. Not my best 3. Put it a couple spots here. March of 2025. Well, I'm gonna go to move tractor to my parents, may strip till around or so, and then get them to bring me back to my truck. I'm gonna get a couple things in my truck, some grease, the grease gun, different things like that I'll need, and probably bring the diesel trailer to their house also, because I'm gonna need some diesel. Not today, but eventually I will, so might as well get it over there while I can, and then probably call it pretty soon after that, because I need to get home and change oil on both our vehicles. So it'll give me a little bit of daylight to get that done this evening. I made it. The state's been doing a bunch of dirt work in our ditches, which is fine. We need the ditches worked, but they've kind of pushed back on the turn row a little bit, which again is fine as long as they'll maintain the ditches and mow them. That's good. That's what we need. But we normally just farmed out further because, well, we might as well take care of as much as we can and have less to be mowed. So anyways, enough of that. I am in the right rows. If you can faintly see, there are some old cotton stalks in front of me, and these should be the right rows. Let's see what happens. Did not have enough speed when I started. Throttle is what I meant to say. Start a gear lower, higher. That was weird. We drive here a lot. We had strippers parked there, different things, so I'm not surprised that that is very hard packed, but should be a lot better plowing here than where I just was. Look out, look, I don't know. Again, right next to the wheat, always harder to tell because it just plows differently there, but definitely more moisture here than where I was. Still cloudy a little bit, but that is totally fine. Looks fairly low, a little high over here, I think. Maybe slightly low on the left side, but I'm gonna leave it for now. When I come back, I'll check it again on a low spot, on a flat spot, and see what it looks like then. But looks good. Wheat is tired, needs a drink. It's real little. It's March 5th or something. We need some rain. We gotta get this all going. All right, coming back the other way. Just checking stuff over, make sure everything's good. I expect it to be about where I need it. Maybe some micro adjustments. That looks pretty level to me, don't you think? There's a slight uptick there. That may be the ground though. It kind of looks like the ground maybe kind of comes up and then back down, so I think I'm good there. I don't know what this is. Look at these tracks. I don't know if you can see. They turn. They go through the field. I don't know. I would recommend that, driving through cotton stalks with your truck if you're proud of your truck, but I don't know who that was. Somebody hunting back here that I don't know? Good question. Could be. If they killed a pig, that's fine. If they left it, not okay. Driving over my crop, not okay. Out without permission, not okay. I don't know, the game warden? Does the game warden do that? Apparently the game warden can do whatever he wants. He's got the most authority of like any law enforcement guy, so who knows? Well, today's a good day. Well, I got a round done next to the wheat. I did a couple short rounds here next to the house because I just like to do that. I think it's satisfying to see that next to the house. And so I got it done. At least that side. Sprayer's in the way over there. I'll get tomorrow morning, I don't know what's gonna happen. We're going out of town tomorrow afternoon. Like I told you, if the wind is down, I may spray. It's really not that weedy here. What I just was looking at, where I just made that round up in the field, so it was weedy around the house. So I don't know, but I'll either spray, or I may just wait on spraying since it's not that weedy, and just be able to get some more strip tilling done before we leave after lunch. But yeah, I did the shorts. I got a round here, and then I'll work around the house. And you get it. Like, I'm just gonna start and then I'm gonna finish. See how that works. So it was a good day. Glad to get everything done over on the west side of the farms. And now I can just focus on the east, which happens to be the biggest farms, really. I have way more acres over here. Way more. I don't do a ton of acres, but I have most of my acres are on this side of over here. So just got to keep knocking it out. So I'll keep filming, and you watch, and you subscribe, and you tell your friends, and then you come watch all my old videos. You know, just keep watching, because you're a fan, right? That's what you're supposed to do. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you're gonna farm it.